Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Wellness Wednesday. Today, I have a little adjustment, a little three-step flow for you that will help us to move into the winter. It is called in this book, if you have it, Depth. This is for the beginning practitioner, but it's advanced concept. All the concepts are explained, and I'm often practicing little flow patterns from this book. So it's called Reversing and Increasing of Depth 4. And it's very simple, it's just 3 steps. And it's really great to harmonize anxiety, depression. It will move us into the winter, get our body up to speed to protect us against the cold. And it's also great for limb stiffness, arthritic conditions. When you get the winter blues, of course, it's great. And yeah, just let's get into it. So I'm inviting you to get really comfortable, maybe lie down, sit on your couch, reach back, and I'm gonna practice along with you and explain this little flow pattern to you. So to start, let's place our hands on our shoulders here and just feel which side you want to work on. And you can guess already, yes, this flow is great for neck projects, head projects, and keeping our muscles in great condition. So if you have decided which side you're going to work on, so if it's this side, place your other hand on the lower back. The lower back is right here, right at the crest of the hip, and you can use the back of your hand or the fingertips like this, which I like to do because then you can really get into this tight spot. Most people have some tightness on their lower backs, so I'm inviting you to really, hold it a little bit firmer. And then the other hand will place it on high one. So we're holding this two with the opposite high one here. High one is located on the upper thigh on the inside of the knee. And if you have lower back project, we are now bringing the energy down out of that area. And then after that, we are going to bring it up. So it's always dispersing the stuck energy, bringing it down below, bringing it up, moving it from right to left and left to right. So as you see, we're holding one side of the lower back with the opposite inside of the knee. So bringing in this mediator aspect from right to left and left to right. And this flow pattern is really used when our mediator flow, which starts with our attitudes, right? Our worry, fear, anger, and so on. When they start to intermingle with other flow patterns in the body. So yes, 2 and high 1, a dynamic hold in and of itself. So take a few breaths here. Very nice. And then let's move our hand from the high 1 to our neck. So now we are on the same side of the lower back. So if you're holding your right side, then both your hands are placed on the right side of the body. And we're holding location number 4, which is right at the base of the skull. And I just came back from Holland, and let me tell you this quick little story. But on the way over, all of a sudden we were actually asleep, and there was all this commotion, and this woman started to yell, "My husband needs help." So I jumped out of my seat and ran over to the man, and he was like sweating and starting to faint. So what I did is I placed my hands on the back of his head. And at first he was a little bit resistant, but I said, just let me do this. I've done this many times on airplanes. And I just held the back of his head right here. And after a few minutes, he was just fine. So I explained a little bit to the wife, what we do here with the art of jinshin. And everything was wonderful. So you can really use the art of jinshin also in emergency situations. And, again, right here, back of the head. And I placed both my hands there, to really get the energy to move in the head, which if somebody faints, safety energy location number 4 is the one to hold. So after this story, let's take another nice deep breath, and we will start to move our hand down to 12, and then to 11. So you can stay where you feel most need, whether if it's the 4, you can start to move down from the 4 and maybe place your fingers like this, holding 4 and 12 at the same time. And Pamela says in her books, like, if locations, they become too good friends, too much, too close, it's not good either. When the 4 starts to become one with the 12, you want to bring some separation so we don't get codependence in these locations, right? And so that's when you can hold 4 and 12 together and really creating that space. Very nice. And let's move our hand down to 11. And 11 is where we tend to hold a lot of stress. And this flow, and I'm going to read a little bit from the depth. It's traditionally used for ears, kidneys, bladder projects, urinary tract, bones, nails, rheumatism, limb stiffness, arthritic conditions, muscle, any muscle project, but also muscle atrophy, and hemorrhoids. This is great. This flow harmonizes our back, neck, head. Also great for depression and anxiety. So many things and so many projects that we're dealing with today. And it's so simple. Just 3 simple steps. And by now you may feel the energy movement. You may feel your hands getting warmer. That's the energy movement. You may feel a pulsation coming from the locations into your fingertips. That's also the energy movement. And the energy moves from the skin surface to the core, and then back up to the skin surface, as well as down the front and up the back. So we have all this energy movement, the spiraling of energy going on. So then the last step is moving our hand from 11. So gently take off your hand and placing it on the back. So you can see how this flow is wonderful for back projects here, particularly lower back, and easy to do on yourself. So let's briefly practice the other side. Won't talk so that you can just see how simple this flow really is. So we'll place our hand on high 1 and the other hand on the opposite 2. Take 3 breaths here. And then we'll move our hand from the 1 to the neck here on the same side. We'll move through 4, 12, and 11. So take your time. Dropping your shoulders. And then to 23. So very, very simple, and gently let go. And let's all together hold our index finger. That's the quick hold to harmonize our 4th cycle of energy, our depth 4, holding the index finger. Great for anxiety. If you know somebody with anxiety, tell them about the index finger and share the art of jinshin. So one more breath here. Very nice. Wow, I hope you feel better. So if you liked the video, I'm inviting you to like it, subscribe to our channel, and practice the art of jinshin every day a little bit on yourself. Even if you have only time to hold your finger, practice for a minute, practice for a moment. When you're placing your hand, you're practicing the art. So thank you all so much for joining, and I will see you next week.